Andy Grove was the legendary leader of Silicon Valley. It is hard to describe the profound impact that Andy had on the world, other than to say that Silicon Valley would probably not exist today without Andy's leadership at Intel, which laid the foundation for the entire computing industry. During his time as CEO, Intel's market capitalization skyrocketed from $4 to $200 billion. His untimely passing this April sent shockwaves through the valley. He was a legend, a mentor, and a friend to generations of technologists and innovators. We will miss him dearly.
I was very fortunate to meet Andy. He was one of the great people I've known. I learned that he was a good friend, that he wouldn't take any bullshit from anybody, and you knew where he stood with him, and he knew where I stood, and we got along just fine.
Andy was maybe the most driven guy I've ever seen. He had an incredible ambition to push the boundaries in every regard.
What was so profound about Andy was his ability to inspire you, almost to demand of you to bring your best self into everything you did, into your work, to take risks, to be fair, to be open about what the facts are, to confront issues and not people. He had this ability to just break through and to really challenge you how to think.
He was going to make it go. I mean, it was just passion. Intel was his passion, and he was going to do it. By God, he was going to do it.
There was no question about who was in charge at Intel. There was no question about what everyone had to do. And he was a superb leader for, I think, the most important technology company of its time.
It was just incredibly warm and funny on a personal basis, and just such an incredible longevity of seeing the future and having the will to build it from the minute he left Budapest to the very last moment. And if we can all keep doing that, I think Silicon Valley will be fine, even 50, 100 years from now.
I think the right place to begin is with the billions of people on this planet whose lives are better because of the microchip, the microcomputer. I mean, Andy Grove democratized computing. He made it affordable to everyone.
This is a guy who escaped Hungary from the Nazis and from the communists, got on a boat, took a 3-month boat ride, was handed whatever he was handed, $20, didn't speak any English, and put himself through school and built Intel, and then left us with a legacy of how we manage companies in Silicon Valley.
I think I will remember Andy sometimes with fear, with a lot of admiration, with laughter, and just an obligation to keep that sense of Silicon Valley alive.
I think for a lot of people, Andy Grove is a name and a face and a legend, and he's not a person. He's a bigger than life figure in history, like Thomas Jefferson or something. But I've been at Intel long enough to know a lot of people who actually worked with and worked for Andy Grove. And what they describe him as is this amazing human being, this person who could be tough as nails at work, but who also had a huge dose of humanity in terms of how he dealt with people.
So after Andy retired from Intel, I worked really hard to get him on the board of Amazon. He almost accepted that offer, or the board of Google. He felt it would be better for Paul Otellini to serve as that board member, but he and I maintained our friendship. And so I once asked him, Andy, what's your greatest legacy? You must be enormously proud of the company you've created. How is it that now that you're not running Intel? He said, "John, I want to tell you what matters to me the most is my grandchildren. When I look in their eyes, I see the future, and that means more than all the Intels in the world."